Welcome back. I'm here at the cabin and I want to talk fences today. Sitting behind me right here lays one of the original snake rail fences that surrounds the property around the cabin here. It's really, really neat. It's been here a long time, and as you can see, it is made of cedar. And these kind of fences were really popular. They still are popular now, but they're really popular in areas where the soil is really rocky and you don't want to dig posts. You don't want the posts to kind of rot out. As you can see, it's really popular in the woods because, when you lay them, across each other, it makes like a zigzag. So zigzag fence, split rail, snake rail, all the same thing. So it's really neat to have these fences kind of in the woods, to come across them and to see the work that was involved in not only harvesting the cedar, but splitting them and making these fences. So this one's getting pretty tired. I'm working on replacing it. And, it's a really awesome fence to have too, because you don't have to dig. You can just kind of lay it down. So let's take a closer look at it. So as you can see, it kind of goes all the way around here before kind of petering out. I'll show you where it picks up over there in just a sec. But as you can see here, there is some wire to kind of hold it together here, and it's kind of rusting out. And the other thing I have to really be careful of around here is the old barbed wire. So you see that's right here. I am told that this property right here used to have livestock on it. So back in the day, there used to be, I think, horses and pigs out here. Probably some cattle too. The land here is pretty awful. We couldn't really, farm too much around here. The soil is very loamy, very rocky. So things that did well here were like hay, and, cattle and, just things that could really survive off of eating very little. Of course, pigs could root around and get all kinds of tubers and stuff like that as well. So I'm guessing that this the barbed wire was also to kind of keep them in. At one point, these snake rail fences would have been a little bit taller too. They've kind of sagged with age. So this area here that I'm working so hard to reforest, when we got the property about 10 years ago, this was all farm field. So even there where you see all the pine trees now, this is all grass. It's all timothy and alfalfa, brome grass, all that in here, all things that you need to feed livestock. And since then, a few other things have kind of grown in, like milkweed and things like that. But this is all it was grass. Here is another one that's just fencing off part of the field here. And you can see at the bottom of it a lot of different rocks and things like that were put there when they were kind of clearing the field. And this one's not so much of a zigzag. This one's a little bit different style. Let's move this here. So you can see there's rocks at the base, and then some of the cedar rails went across, and then others sort of went between each log there. Of course, it is falling down too, but this is a really old fence. I don't know when this was made. But there's more rocks right there. And it goes all through here. You can see the trees have kind of grown up and around, and it goes down that way. There are lots of different styles to these old fences, and different regions that you go to, you'll see different ways that people create them. Here, I've seen it this way, and just sort of the zigzag snake rail. And it's one of my favorite kinds of fencing systems. It just looks so iconic, and just a taste of yesteryear. And it's really functional. It doesn't rust out. Yes, it will fail over the decades, but it just goes back to the earth. It doesn't kind of, create a really bad environmental footprint. Another kind of fence I have here at the cabin is just a field fence. So that is sort of about like a 47-inch tall fence. Got the big squares that you're familiar with, and it goes to either metal or big posts that go into the ground. Unfortunately, I had a huge scare this week with that fence. Yeah, so on the road line here, I have one of these old-fashioned field fences. As you can see, it is rusting out. This is along a highway. I got a bushwhack to get to it, but it's here. As you can see, a lot of it's really rusted out, and it's not that tall anymore. If I stand up, it's sort of not even at my waistline, so that's not really good. I've been working really hard to kind of clear all around here to get at it and just replace it. So far, I've been able to cut down some of the trees and stuff to access it. And I've been working really steadily on trying to repair it. The other day, the scariest thing happened. Royce came down to see me doing some fence repairs, and that was fine. And then all of a sudden he kind of went into this kind of area right here along the fence line, which I never let him go, but a lot of turkeys and stuff hang out in here and other animals. So he caught a scent of something and went running around kind of in here right along where the fence line meets the highway. Anyways, I'm calling him, I can hear his bell. I know where he is, I've got him on the tracker and stuff, but I'm really aware that he's now heading towards the road, really, really close to the road. So I start to panic. A few times he's gotten here in the winter and I've been able to catch him, but this time I could not catch him. I was running really fast. I leaped over some of the snake rail fencing, and I just was going through really thick bush, so you can see behind me it's really rough to get in through here. And then all of a sudden it became very apparent that he was actually on the road. So basically I came to a clearing and I had to go down an embankment. I saw 2 cars pulled over and I panicked. So I basically teleported over and scaled the field fence here, and I fell down the embankment calling his name. And the 2 cars had pulled over and had stopped traffic, and I was yelling for his name. And sure enough, I thought he got hit or something. I didn't hear any squealing of tires or anything, but I thought the worst is I couldn't see him. And eventually he comes popping out behind one of the cars, and I was like, right, and he just looked so happy. His little ears roll back, like, yay, and he's just waggling his tail, and I'm like, you're in the middle of the road, you're in the middle of a highway, people are going 80 to 100 kilometers an hour right there. So I run out onto the road. The 2 cars obviously had parked so that they were going to stop traffic if anybody else had come around. And the highway is very windy, and there's lots of cliffs and stuff like that, so people can't necessarily see when they come running around the corner, or riding around the corner rather, in their vehicles. So anyways, so I went out on the road. He was going back and forth between the gentleman's truck and a car, saying hi to them. They were kind of chuckling, they thought he was super cute, and kept saying, why are you on the road? And I was like, yes, Royce, why are you on the road? So what happened was that the field fence, one of the cedar posts that was in the ground for decades, had basically rotted out and had fallen over and taken the fence with it. And so when he caught the smell of the turkey, he kind of went over the field fence. And I think he was actually running alongside the road at first. He doesn't really have a reason to be on the road. And I think when they saw him, they pulled over, and then he kind of went up to the cars to say hello. Oh my gosh. So anyways, needless to say, I grabbed him really quickly. We got him off the road and was super grateful for those people that pulled over and, kind of held him in place. Had no idea, I guess, what he was doing there, but I guess they were pretty grateful too that I kind of appeared out of nowhere to kind of get him. So the other thing that was really helpful too, he was wearing full blaze orange, so he was in his little safety vest, so he was extremely visible. When he popped out, probably running alongside the road, they could see this orange little dog running around, so that probably they could see it from far away, so they could slow down, versus just little black dog run out in the road and then looks like a bear or whatever. Really, really close call. So today I'm out working on repairing the fence. I have this really cool tool I got from Princess Auto. As you can see, you can kind of pull out fence staples, hammer, cut wire, twist, pinch, that kind of thing. It's an all-in-one kind of tool. You can get them 2 different prices. This is the cheapest one they had. The lady advised me to get this one for repairs. Don't have to get the $60 one, but this has been really helpful. I've actually fixed so far 20 feet of the worst of the fence, and I'm going to order another 330 feet of it. I've got it on order, so I'll be working on that for the rest of the season, because quite along the way there's so much of the fence that's actually down and destroyed. And I want it to be, back up to the 47 inches. Now it had kind of gone down to 36 inches or whatnot, or less. And some areas it was just completely folded over. There's a big hole in it, and I think that's where he got out onto the road. You can see what I've done here is I've actually put it right up to here. So this is almost up to my shoulder or whatever. This is the new stuff. And this is the old fence post here. A lot of them had fallen. This one actually had fallen straight over. And I have just put this behind the original fence. The original fence is right here. And it will go it basically lays straight down flat. So I've gone along here and replaced with some new fencing right here. I've got the rest on order with Princess Auto. So I'll be able to fix this, and I've got to get some, I'll get some fence posts as well, just to really secure this all in, because I'm not going to be using those cedar posts in the ground right here. Back here, here's the old, one of the other split rails as well. I used to keep the livestock in, so I just keep this here for historical purposes. I think it's really cool. And you can see this one has a little bit of a zigzag pattern, but also uses some wire to secure it there. This one was a little bit taller than the other ones we have looked at previously on the property. And here's our wood pile. There is some split cedar right here, so I might just try to use some of this up and repair some of the cedar rail fences in and around the cabin, just to kind of keep them up. Where I have one little area of cedar rail by a little garden I made too, so I'm going to use this up this year to fix some of those fences. You know, the incident with Royce and the on the road there reminds me of a time I was driving up to the cabin, actually on a sort of a desolate back country road, and I saw up ahead what I thought were like little crows dotting the road in the distance, and it wasn't. It was actually a woman chasing Dachshund puppies up the highway. They had kind of gotten away from her, and she had the mom, I think, in her arm, and another little dog, and then all these little puppies, and they were like running toward me on this back country road. I have no idea where she came from. Probably a little property or something, kind of like we have here, and just they were everywhere, and they were so happy to be running down the road. Same thing, little ears flapping in the breeze, like just a straight away to nowhere. I'll never forget the look on her face, was horrified. I must have had the same look myself, and a bunch of us pulled over and helped out and put the puppies in the car and stuff like that, and she got them back safe. But what an experience, I'll tell you. So thanks for tuning in to learn all about different kinds of fences here at the cabin, and a little scare I had with a fence, and just some repair plans on the horizon. So tell me a bit about the fences around your area if you're in the countryside, what they look like. Are they the field fence, or are they some of the old-fashioned split rail or snake rail fences? There's a real artwork to those fences, and it's really beautiful to kind of travel the countryside and see some of the older style fences. All right, hope you guys have a great week, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.